Welcome back to the show, gang. We are here. We are back with another exciting episode. Before I get into today's guest, I just want to give a quick shout out to a few sponsors. My bad if I get this wrong. This is the first time I give them a shout out. So if you guys are watching, I'll get it right the next time. First and foremost, from one Moe to another Moe. Big Moe Smoke Shop in Riverside, baby. When you need to get some quality glass, quality wraps, anything that's not flower related but will help you on your flower journey, you got to hit up Big Moe Smoke Shop. When it's time to smoke with the hose, you got to hit up Big Moe. That's not their slogan, so if they don't like that, they might.
It's their slogan now.
But I like it, dude. I thought about that, so I was like, let's give you a cool slogan. But yeah, Big Moe Smoke Shop out in Riverside. I don't have the exact address. My bad, guys. I just woke up. I gotta get better at that. Next sponsor, I want to give a shout out to Sacred Journey Mushroom Candy, baby. When you need to get high, if you want to elevate your consciousness, you got to hit up Sacred Journey Mushrooms, bro. I haven't eaten any of these yet, but I was looking at the packaging. Dude, the dosings are insane. A lot of these like mushroom candy companies are like on the microdose tip, and they have some stuff that's on the microdose level, but I think the majority of the products is about getting you freaking floored, bro. Dude, one of the freaking candies had like, it was like 400 milligrams of psilocybin, dude.
You need to take some of that with a guest and see how your podcast goes.
Dude, that's literally, that's God mode right there. I don't like to eat that much. I usually try to do, like a couple grams or something, like an eighth is like insane, but anyways. But yeah, Sacred Journey Mushrooms, you check them out. I don't know where they are. Find them online. I don't know if they have paperwork, so they might not even.
Oh, jeez.
But I'm giving them a shout out, baby. Hit them up. And last but not least, you know how Moe is. I freaking love the flower. I love the cannabis. I grow weed, so I like to think of myself as a connoisseur. So this next company is, means something to my heart right here. Shug's Premium THC Hashful, baby. That is it's a cannabis company. They're hash infused. I haven't had hash infused stuff in a while. Their flower is premium flower. It does not taste like shake. I think they use the lowers of some flour or something of actual flour. And they do 2-gram joints. I smoked one last night. They're OG. I don't know if it was a real OG. It might have been just terp sprayed, but I don't care. It was good quality, good with it. So hit them up. Shug's Sacred Journey Mushroom, Big Moe Smoke Shop. I think these companies might be out in Riverside area, i.e. look them up. You have the internet. I trust you will find the right one. And we are out. Or no, we're not out. Sorry. That was intro.
That was a quick show, dude. Sick.
That was an intro. I'm sorry.
Thanks for having me, bro.
All right, dude. So today's guest, you might have recognized him in the past. He goes by a few names. I just call him Alex. You guys might know him as Padman. I used to know him as Cali Fight Pull Out. I don't know if
that's my main one now.
Is it still going?
Yeah.
Okay, Cali Fight Pull Out, aka Alex, aka Padman Muay Thai. Please welcome to the show, freaking Alex.
Thanks for having me, dude. Thanks for having me again,
Alex, baby.
Yeah, it sucks. We did one at my house because I was going to bring my thing back, and then my computer crashed and died immediately.
Yeah, we filmed the episode. He hit me up saying he wanted to do it. He wanted to start getting into the podcast world. So I went over there and we filmed it was a good hour at least, right?
Yeah, at least, yeah. And then my computer just took it.
Yeah, then his computer crashed, so it's gone. It was a good one. I don't really do interviews with other people. I've only that was my second one. And I only do it for friends or people that are trying to start something that have helped me out. Because I think we should all support each other, But I don't like talking about myself like that,
No.
I have a podcast, but I don't talk about myself. I talk about other people for the most part.
That's the irony, dude.
Yeah. So it was, so we got it out there. Or we didn't get it out there. It's dead. It was a good one too, I think. I felt like for your first one, it would have been a good.
Yeah, I need to take that thing into the shop and maybe I can get it back. Even though we filmed or recorded right before Super Bowl, so it's going to be dated, but whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Back again. Talking. Who are we talking about today?
I don't know, bro. But one thing I do want to get into is the Rodtang. Should we just jump into the Rodtang one or what?
Yeah, rock and roll. One FC tries to sue him into oblivion and make him fight. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. So if you guys are fans of One FC, I'm kind of interested because I have friends that are fight fans, but they didn't know that this was all going on, and I don't know if they just
the lawsuit or
the lawsuit, and I think it's because they probably just followed the main page, the One FC page, because bro, they were tickling his balls the whole time while Chatri was threatening to sue him. Someone was still posting his fights.
They're posting positive stuff and trying to keep it going. I saw it because there's a couple of pages I follow that are more into the Muay Thai news for the community, and that's how it came up. And the allegations were, I think One FC was suing him for defamation against the company, And Rodtang was saying like they're signing my name on contracts. I don't know what my contract stipulations are. They want me to do all this crazy stuff. Like they're not paying me enough. Like all the usual stuff that fighters, get into.
Yeah.
So, and then they dropped it right before the fight, which was interesting
like
too.
2 weeks, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a weird situation. Like I don't know how you sue somebody and then go like, "You're still fighting for us."
Dude, right? Yeah, so like I guess we'll start from the beginning. What happened? My normal wake up alarm.
So I got you up early, dude.
We're doing an episode early, bro. I'm not a morning person, but he is, and so I compromised and did this early episode. I've never done one this early, but here we are. But yeah, so Rodtang, he fights for ONE FC, right? So he signed a contract for a set amount of fights, and I guess he was under the impression that he had already completed his contract. So he was trying to negotiate. He thought this next fight that he had with Takara, I believe, he thought that like it was like a outside of his contract type deal, So he was trying to negotiate for a higher pay. I don't know how much they were paying him this time around, but I remember the first fight they had, Takara was making almost like, I think Takara made like close to 7 mil, and Rodtang was making like 3 mil, I think, or 2 or 3 mil.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think that was the problem. And the excuse Chatri told Rodtang was like, hey, this is Takara. He's a big name. Fighting in Japan. These are his fans. The pay-per-views and all that are going for him mostly. And he does have a great point, but then on the flip side, I can see why Rodtang would be upset because he's been with ONE since the beginning. I'm sure a lot of his fights were for pennies. I think they're paying him good now, but I'm sure at the beginning it was for pennies. He's basically the golden boy for ONE, and he kind of was a yes man. Fought whenever, did whatever they wanted, and he wasn't the kickboxing champ. Was he the kickboxing champion?
I think that belt was for the interim one, right?
The first one. The second one was.
Yeah. Okay.
The second one, I don't remember if he was a kickboxing champion, but he was like their Muay Thai champion. He fought in a lot of kickboxing fights for him. It would just make sense for him to get paid more than Takara as a company man,
Well, not just that. He's like one of the big names for that company.
He built the brand.
Yeah. So Rodtang is the guy. He's what they call him Iron Man, right?
Yeah.
Iron Man. Walking out and getting punched and throwing exciting fights. So the only argument you can make against him was, he's got money now, and in his last few fights, maybe he wasn't too hungry, but
yeah.
Aside from that, it kind of seems like ONE FC probably was doing some shady stuff because, like, it's weird that you would sue him and then drop it under the stipulation, like, let's just not talk about it anymore.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's part of the clause, non-disclosure type thing. But yeah, so there's a contract dispute. He wanted more money. He found out that he actually was obligated to fight this because I think in his head he was like, I'm just not going to fight this fight. Under the contract, he still had one more fight, which would have been the Takara fight. And then he started going through the paperwork, and he realized that like. Someone had forged his signature on his contract with Takara, and he was saying that like they told him about the fight, they gave him the contract, but the contract was in English and he didn't understand because he's Thai, right? And so I guess he just was believing whatever this representative from ONE was telling him, and so he allowed the representative to, I guess, sign the contract. I don't know if he allowed it, but I don't know exactly. He didn't really specify. I don't know if he was allowed to, right? But he just was saying, I never signed this. It's not my signature, right? So then ONE comes out, or he starts saying, he basically starts saying he wants to leave ONE FC and go to some other league, right? He's saying he was a free agent. He's upset with them. ONE comes out and he says, hey, bro, if you go read your contract, it says you can't even fight for 12 months after this, your very last fight. You have to give us 12 months to try to renegotiate, and you're not allowed to fight until then, right? And then he starts announcing how he wants to go to MMA for a little bit. I think, I don't know the timeline. I could have the timeline wrong, but I was getting the impression that maybe he was thinking that his contract was only for Muay Thai. And so he's like, maybe I'll go into MMA somewhere else and still fight. But then Chatri came out and he said, no, it's for all combat sports. It doesn't matter if it's like wrestling. You have 12 months of, you can't be active, right? It's like it becomes a whole legal dispute. Rodtang is straight up dissing Chatri, bro, like straight up saying how he's like a liar, this and that. You've never seen this type of behavior between the two, Chatri's coming out. Dude, Chatri's saying some messed up about Rodtang, saying how he's not honorable. That's why he's been losing his fights, bro, because he just lost the motivation, this and that, right? It becomes a big ordeal. And then literally 2 weeks before the fight, Rodtang comes out and he says he's dropping the lawsuit with ONE FC. They've reached an agreement and he's going to continue his fight with Takara. If you guys haven't seen the fight, go check it out. It was probably one of the, I wouldn't say it's the worst performance he had, but it was, from the clips I saw, he didn't look like he was himself. He ends up getting knocked out in the 5th round, right? Some people are saying it was staged.
I don't think it was staged. I think it's more likely like you have a lawsuit for $20 million, and then also, he probably isn't as hungry as he used to be, so he's not training as hard, and it would make sense. He's just not as prepared. I don't know. I wouldn't fight well if I was being sued at the same time. Even regardless if it's dropped, it was dropped 2 weeks before. Right now, I can concentrate for a week and fight. Like,
yeah,
that's kind of. I don't know. ONE FC just seems like it's been going down the last few years. My homie that follows it a little bit closer says they've been bleeding money forever, and the only reason they're still around is because the parent company keeps them open.
They get a lot of investment.
Yeah,
yeah. Chatri will straight up ask for investment when he needs money. Like he'll put out posts and stuff.
It's a weird game though, because like they're a Southeast Asian fight promotion, right? And like UFC makes its money off their deals, and well, they're not doing pay-per-views anymore.
Not anymore, no.
No, so
well, it's up in the air. He said he's still down to have pay-per-views for fights that Paramount doesn't want to do. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's
AKA the UFC wants a whole slice of the pie sometimes. Yeah.
But like, where do you get? Whoops, sorry. Let me silence that. It's like, where do you get your money from? You know, because Southeast Asia, like compared to the US, let's say you're doing a pay-per-view model, there's not a bunch of money out there for people to pay $50 or $60 for a fight to watch a fight. And then they're not promoting in the US that much, or barely any. They seem to snub their like Western fighters. Like Asa fought, he wins, doesn't get a bonus, you know? So it's just an interesting game plan. I don't know where ONE FC goes. I don't think it shuts down, but I think quality is going to start going down. They cut the, strawweight women's division.
Yeah, it's gone
right?
now.
And that's gone. So it's usually not a good sign if you're going to start suing fighters and cutting divisions and all that other crap.
Yeah, I've been following this for a while because I've been a big fan of ONE, you know. So, and because of my podcast, I like look into like the history and the money and all that, you know, just because it's something to talk about, you know. And I remember like a year ago, I was like, I did a segment where Chatri was having money problems, and he like got investment from, I think it was like a private donor, and I was like, yo, this doesn't look good. Like this big company, this is a big like fight company that's supposed to compete with the UFC, but they can't even like pay keep the fights going. And then I remember like around that time he made the move to doing mostly just Muay Thai fights, you know. I went down the rabbit hole, and I started realizing that he's doing mostly Muay Thai fights instead of MMA fights because he can pay the Muay Thai fighters less, right? And then he got that deal with Lumpini, right? And so he had an exclusive deal where only the fighters were fighting in Lumpini, right? I don't know Thailand too well, but I do know that Lumpini, it's a great stadium and all, but it's like towards the outskirts of I think Bangkok, right? So the big stadium is like Raja. Like there's a lot of more stadiums towards the middle of the city that people like to go to, you know? So Lumpini was kind of like towards the farmland. So already it's like kind of like, yeah, you're on a big stadium, but it's kind of like the cheaper one compared to, you know?
Well, it's a big stadium for like Thai fights because it's like culturally, it's a big, like that's the stadium to go to win your championship belt. It's always been like, if you're the Lumpini.
Yeah, that was back. Yeah, but that was because like those are all like fighters that would come from the farmland and stuff, right? So Raj is kind of like the one that's the main one now. And I saw Raj was starting to kind of move away from using, from having outside leagues fight inside their stadium. They're kind of starting promoting just the Raj fighters, Raj brand, you know? And then they did that whole reconstruction where like with the TVs everywhere. So I was kind of like, all right, so now Raj is coming in and they're starting to push for more viewers, you know, in ONE FC's territory. And Raj is kind of more local, you know? And around the same time, all of a sudden I started seeing them have less fights outside, like in Japan. It just looked like they were having a lot of money problems, right? And it seemed like Chatri signed this contract with Japan to have one fight in Japan a year because he's trying to get some more viewership outside of like Southeast Asia. So anyways, all these signs to me were like, damn, there's a lot of money signs going on, right? And then now you see this and it just confirmed all that, you know?
And you were talking before, like the old, was it Pride? Right, the old Pride fights in Japan, how there may or may not have been a lot of Yakuza influence and fights and like that.
It's factual.
I was going to try to keep it alleged, but you know, there's always that kind of shady stuff that goes on. So that's where I think people get that whole like, oh, the fight was fixed and this bullshit, you know, for the Rodtang Takaru fight, which it doesn't have to be fixed. He fought a bad fight and the other guy was more prepared. You know, the first fight, he knocked him out in the first round, like pretty quick.
Yeah, I heard allegedly though Takaru had a broken rib.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
he was injured and
yeah, he had a training partner, Nori, who said that he broke his rib at some point in his camp, you know, so he wasn't able to train well, you know, which I do believe because I've seen Takaru. I'm actually a fan of the kickboxers that come out of Japan. I saw him when he was in K1 and all these other leagues, you know. He's very aggressive and he was fighting just very unintelligent at that fight, and I think it was because he was trying to hide
an injury.
Protect an injury, so it wasn't allowing him to fight more intelligently, you know. And, you know, I defended him too when I was like, when I found that out, I was like, hey, dude, this was like, I wasn't saying it was a stage fight or anything, but I was like, he wasn't fighting his best that night, dude. We didn't get to see like a real Rodtang versus Takara, you know. So I was like, hopefully, you know, when we do get a rematch, then we'll see what's up, you know. And unfortunately
now the rematch, it's not the best Rodtang.
Yeah, then the pendulum shifted, and people were at my throat when I'm on the internet because they're like, "You're just defending Rodtang because he's a Muay Thai fighter, whatever." And I was like, "Nah, bro," because I defended Takara when he got the loss from Rodtang. It's just the difference with Rodtang is I'm defending him more because I feel like the mental anguish that he got was from the league he fights for versus Takara. He just got hurt in training. That's just his bad, you know. Like his training partner wasn't taking care of him, you know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he stays with ONE FC. I mean, I think part of that issue too with Rodtang is he's not like a lawyer, you know. Like we look at these pro Thai fighters or these pro fighters and we think that, you know, we hold him on a pedestal and stuff. And he's Thai, dude. He doesn't.
Simple man.
Yeah, he doesn't know the law. It's entirely possible. Like he smiled and nodded and signed whatever they wanted to sign without understanding, you know, all the different stipulations.
No, that's 1,000% possible.
You know?
But it's the fact the contract was in English. If that's true, it's kind of sketchy.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of sketchy stuff that ONE FC probably did because you'd have to think there's a reason for them to pull the lawsuit back and decide to not do it. You know,
that's what I'm wondering if a lot of what he's saying is
probably true.
You're right.
You know, like if he just said, "Yeah, go ahead and sign," I don't think you could still like do that without other proper legal representation.
Yeah, I don't think you could have someone else sign a contract. You can have like a lawyer, or you could give someone power to like sign stuff over you, but you can't just you can't just have like company workers sign contracts for you. You know, that's like extremely like not credible, bro. You know what I mean?
And like if he's having somebody translate English to Thai or whatever back and forth, you know, it probably doesn't translate 100%.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there was a bunch of that they did, and ONE FC probably realized like, oh, if we go to Discovery or if this gets out, like they're going to find out we did some.
Well, here's another thing I was thinking of too. Let's say maybe ONE FC is whether they're right or wrong. Maybe they think that they can beat this lawsuit, right? But if they do go to court, then that means like certain parts of the company have
to come out,
right? Like finances, how much they pay certain fighters, like the Takara, and like how much they make off viewership and stuff. I think maybe they're looking at it from that objective point too. Like, even if we go to court and we can beat them, whether we're right or we're wrong, you know, it might not be good for the brand. Not even just from like aside from the fans being upset with them, but it's like it's going to be bad for investors because now they're going to start seeing things that we're doing, you know, that we're not telling them.
And if they're bleeding money, you know, all the bad press, they probably just wanted it to go away. And it's pretty. I don't know, dude. Like, you sue a Thai fighter for $20 million. Like, has ONE FC? Well, if they're paying Takara $7 million and Rodtang got $3 million, then they probably have paid that amount. But like, I'm thinking, you know, $20 million is probably more than they've paid out to the majority of their fighters, like combined since the inception. Yeah, you know, except for their top guys. Yeah. So it's kind of ridiculous. You're going to sue Rodtang into oblivion and like put him on the streets.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's like dumb because I'm like, dude. Why are you pissing off the dude that like bled for you, bro? This fool was all about ONE FC, bro. You know what I mean? Like, even if you wanted to go to a different league for whatever reason, it's like the better business model should have just been like, hey, give him a proper send off, and hopefully he comes back, or hopefully he speaks good about the brand, you know, or hopefully some new fighter you can build him up and he can be the new Rodtang. But doing something like this is gonna hurt the brand because the public's not going to like it, and your own fighters are probably going to be very upset, bro. They're going to be like, he was like treated better than me, and this is what he got, you know?
Yeah, the UFC does the same with their stars once they're done. I mean, it happens in every fight promotion, every company. They don't really get a send off, you know. It's just
sometimes they do. Yeah, it happens there in every league. But I feel like the difference is Chatri was like all the claims he made about being better than Dana White is kind of crazy for him to be doing the same
I think
shit.
That's martial arts samurai anime bullshit, dude. Because again, why would you sue your fighter? He's talking out of both sides of his mouth. He's going to sue Rodtang on the one side and talk about honor and all this stuff, and he's just lost his passion and blah blah blah. Like,
that was so wild.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, when Rodtang lost, Chatri put out a statement saying how like, hopefully he can. Rodtang has been distracted. His last few fights haven't been that good. He's like, hopefully he can get motivated and get back
make me more money.
Oh my god,
come back and make me some more money.
It was so tone deaf, dude.
It's kind of true though. I mean,
tone deaf.
It seems like a lot of the Thais, when they get the money and they get the fame, like, or they get comfortable, you know, they go from being dirt poor to having money and they can buy what they want. You know, why would you sacrifice 60 hours a week to keep training? Like, you can just try to cut weight. Because how many guys have like, they're not fighting, they didn't pass hydration, they didn't make weight. It's happened a bunch and it's always the bigger name guys. Yeah. So it happens, dude. That's the nature of the beast. Yeah. Make your money and retire. So.
Well, especially like because the Thai fighters, by the time they like a lot of the ones that are in one, they're already in like their mid-20s, which is like pretty old in Thai fight career, you know. So it's like they're already ready to retire,
just to be done.
Yeah. So I think there's a number of reasons, and then plus a lot of them they come from like a very poor background, so it's like, you know, having exposure like that, they probably feel like they probably are movie stars, you know, out in Asia and stuff.
And that culture too, like what sucks for money. Hopefully, you know, hopefully Rodtang's got some kind of financial advisor. I doubt it, but that's helping him with his money, because that culture, dude, you make money, all of a sudden you got cousins coming across. Hey, dude, I'm your cousin from this place.
Yeah.
And I have a bunch of money too. And they just give it out. That happened to Pacquiao.
Yeah.
People always come out of the woodwork and just take and take.
Yeah.
So we'll see, dude. Hopefully, I don't know if hopefully he keeps fighting and won, but I'm sure he'll keep fighting. And I don't know.
Where do you think he goes? Some people were tagging the UFC, and when he was saying he wanted to be a free agent,
I don't think he can do MMA.
I think if he were to want to come to the UFC, I think Dana White could give him the right fights to help build him, same way they did with Alex Pereira. I don't know if he's going to come to the UFC. That seems kind of like a stretch. I thought for a while before a lot of the, like when he first was saying he was going to be a free agent, before the Chatri stuff came out, you know, I assumed he's probably going to try to go to Ryzen. But I don't know if that's going to be possible, because I think they have Chatri has a relationship with Ryzen, you know, and Japan is like pretty closed off anyways. It's like if you're cool with they're cool with you coming to put on shows, then they're probably like cool with you being cool with the other promotions, you know. I don't know if I worded that properly, but
he could go the Senchai route, do seminars and open a gym and charge $150 for a seminar and pictures and stuff, you know.
Yeah,
I think he's got a big enough name to do that. UFC, like, aside from us and people that follow Thai boxing, nobody gives a shit about who Rodtang is in the MMA community.
Yeah, they don't know who he is.
Yeah, nobody knows who he is. So he's just going to be some Asian dude that is going to get choked out and grappled, because Dana White could just as easily feed him to some wrestling beast and he'll get ground and pounded out.
Yeah, well, I don't know, because when that one dude, what's that, that white guy that came over, he's got a weird name. He was the champion and won, and they didn't want to give him fights for a while, and then he left because he was like, "What the hell? I'm the champion. You guys won't let me defend my belt."
The white dude?
He's a white, or he's Dutch. He's a Dutch guy. He's a Dutch kickboxer that has good jiu-jitsu.
I have no idea.
Dude, he's part of
Google it. You can do a cut right here and Google.
Yeah. He's in the top 10. Should I just use freaking Gemini's? Let's see if Rainer DeRitter, baby. Thank you. Yeah, so Rainer DeRitter, he was a champion in ONE FC. He was the fact that they weren't letting him defend it was I think that now that I'm looking back on everything, I think this just came back down to the money, because they pay their MM this and that, right? So he ends up leaving ONE FC, and he got snubbed by Chatri and all that. It was all bad. I remember all that. He comes to UFC, and the UFC branded him, was undefeated in ONE FC, and he was doing really good, bro. And honestly, I thought he was going to be the champion in the ONE FC times in 1 year, bro.
It's difficult, because the UFC, regardless of what you think about like their striking and stuff, because I think ONE FC has better striking overall, but UFC is like the top of the MMA game when it comes to like grappling and wrestling and stuff. It's not as easy as being like Lumpini champion and a black belt in jiu-jitsu and going out and beating MMA. It's a completely different beast. They have the weight cut, you know, the guys are cutting, who knows, like 20, 30, 40 pounds. That's a whole big thing. So you can be weight bullies, the stress, the game plan. Like, was it Bolanos from CSA Gym, right? He's been in UFC. His record's not that great in the UFC, and he was doing really good. And was it Bellator before? I think he was in Bellator, and then he had been in ONE FC. So when you transition to that highest level, I think the stress just gets to people. It's not easy. I know guys that are trying to get into that level. They're on the low end of like pro MMA. Really good strikers, dude. You would think like, holy, this guy's going to kill it in MMA, and they fucking get their asses kicked. You know, it's just a different beast. Yeah,
it's a different the time where other leagues had better fighters than the UFC's done. I remember back in the day when the UFC, when they bought WEC and Strikeforce, and I don't know.
That's when all the stars came out.
That's the UFC champions that like were legends from like my era. A lot of them came from the WEC, bro. Yeah, you know, Jose Aldo. I literally talked to Garrett about this yesterday, bro.
Well, yeah, they had. Didn't GSP come from there too?
No, he didn't.
No?
I don't think he came from WEC. He might have. I don't think so though. But it was like
They're from Strikeforce.
I don't think so. I might be wrong, but I remember Cowboy Cerrone came, Clay Guida, Jose Aldo, who else from WC? What's that dude that started doing the calf kicks? Brought the Korean and black guy.
Oh, Henderson.
Henderson came from there. Was Dan Hendo from there? No, he was UFC. There's just a bunch of champions.
Yeah,
Jake Shields.
That was the peak generation for UFC. That's when the stars came out.
They mopped the floor with a bunch of the UFC fighters. And I remember when I was younger, that was the thing we would talk about is like, damn, these WEC guys, these Strikeforce guys are coming to the UFC. You know, are they going to be able to like hang? I didn't watch a lot of those leagues just because like my cousin was into UFC. His mom, his dad, my uncle and aunt, they were in the UFC. So it's like we just always would just watch UFC, right?
Yeah, and then they absorbed Affliction around that time too.
Yeah,
that was the goal. I think the golden era for UFC was when they got Strikeforce and Affliction and all those companies. All this, that's when they had the big names and the stars, dude.
Yeah,
you don't really have that anymore. I couldn't name you 2 or 3 guys out of any division right now.
Yeah,
from UFC.
I know a few because I pay attention, but what I'm trying to say though is like I think the UFC's done so good at branding, looking for new talent and building. They're really good at building talent too. You know, that's something that they do better than any other league, and I think that's just because Dana took it from like wrestling, honestly.
Yeah, they have the Contender Series. They got not Tough Enough. What was it called? The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, Contender, Ultimate Fighter. Then they also have like Road to UFC from other countries, which was I think such a great idea because now they can get talent early on from different countries. You know. So it's hard to compete. Honestly, it's hard to compete. But I'm interested to see if more ONE FC fighters start coming to the UFC. I don't know what that means. Does that mean we're gonna see less fights or more fights to them? I don't know.
UFC will probably stay on their schedule, and ONE FC will probably shift. You know, there was after I don't know where I saw it, but people were saying ONE FC should really just focus on kickboxing and Muay Thai and drop like the MMA and jiu-jitsu stuff because every card they're doing it's like a mixed card and that's what they do.
I like that they do. I like that they have mixed, but yeah, I mean, their bread and butter is definitely the striking.
Well, to like when out here, right? The IF or the PKBs and all the amateur shows, like everybody's mixing everything together now. They have a couple MMA fights, a couple boxing fights, and I think overall maybe that means the talent pool or the fighter pool is just not there to do one show for just kickboxing or just Muay Thai or just whatever,
Yeah.
So it's kind of a weird times out here for fight quality and amateurs and all that other. And PKBs took over. All the semi-contact stuff took over. If you go do a PKB and get your little belt, people think it's cool.
Yeah. Well, they got more. They're just more organized and stuff. You know what I mean? And it's like a brand now.
Yeah, and it's cheaper to put that show on than it is to do an amateur show. You don't need the medicals out there as much. You don't need licensing. You don't need a lot of stuff.
Can't pay fighters.
Well, amateurs don't get paid anyways.
Yeah, but you legally can't pay them. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like you legally can't pay them. So that's the big expense that's going out the window that, when you put those on. Yeah, no, that's very true, bro. Very true.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens out here. I still maintain, I know my biggest, when we talked last time, the biggest thing was people were bitching at me for saying Muay Thai is stagnant in the States. And I still believe that's the case. There's so much shady that goes on. I don't think we're growing in a good way. There's more gyms than ever, and the overall quality's kind of settled down. Like back in the old days, the gyms used to be more niche and you would go and they'd be like, oh, this is a great Muay Thai gym. But there's more gyms, but the overall quality's kind of come down, I think. And then there's still the good ones. There's always CSA gym or whatever, or Boxing Works or, what have you. But overall, I think quality's gone down. I think we're in a very low effort society. Like people don't want to train hard. Yeah. I see a lot of gyms now. They do their guys do their running and their conditioning on their own. And kind of like what the I don't know. It's just different. I always had dedicated conditioning and cardio for the guys when we were doing it. It was like it had to be part of the program. Yeah, you
said your classes were like 2 hours long or something, right?
Yeah, like 2.5 hours long. Yeah, sometimes 3, depending on if people stuck around after.
Yeah, Yeah, it's the bassification, I think, of just combat sports in general. I feel like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just society's gone just soft. No one's really getting into that. And the ones that are getting into it, they're doing it because they think it looks cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
The passion
100%.
Isn't like when I was a kid in the 90s, bro, like a big part of like growing up was I wanted to like be the best at fighting type. Mm-hmm. Even though obviously I've never close to any of that. But like I thought in my head I could do that, Versus I think, and I don't mean to talk smack, but I meet a lot of these kids at these different events, like way young kids, like kids that are late teens or, and I talk to them and it just seems they just think fighting's cool,
Yeah, they do it for the gram.
You know what I mean? It's like, they just like, yeah, I want to just, it'd be cool to make money fighting. And I was like, bro, when I was a kid, it was about proving like I was the best. This is Dragon Ball Z era, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I was on the same page.
I
got picked on in school. I wanted to just learn how to beat the shit out of people.
Yeah, it was never like I want to make money fighting because I didn't even think that there was, even at that age, I understood there wasn't money in fighting. You know, I just was like, I just want to fight and be the best type of shit, you know?
No, that's
I wanna be like
that's
Goku.
exactly what it was for me too. I wanted to be able to beat up everybody. I remember when I started at OC, like the first time I sparred, I got my arm kicked into oblivion. I was like, these guys, I'm gonna quit. And my buddy was like, just hit them back.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And so I was always motivated to be better than the other guys in class. And same thing for my boy James when he was training. He wanted to be better than everybody just for the sake of being better.
Yeah.
You know, there was no, I'm going to post it online and be a fighter.
Yeah, it was a different grind back then, dude. Like I feel like we're in the era where fighting is like the new, what do I want to say? Like it's like the new trendy thing, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like it's not even the action of fighting, it's like the
posting,
dressing,
about it.
like
yeah.
you know what I mean?
The costume of it.
Right, that's the better word. Yeah, the costume of fighting, yeah. And I'm not trying to talk shit to all the kids. I meet kids that are motivated still. I still meet kids that are motivated and all that. I have a few of them that DM me and stuff, but I'm just saying the majority of these kids, bro, it's just I don't see the passion for it, you know?
When you tell them to stop drinking, stop partying, maybe don't go out with your chick every night of the week, you got to train, and they go, oh, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, that's the biggest thing. I think now the irony of like, where on one side I say that the community's not growing and it's kind of dying. On the other hand, if you're dedicated and you want to condition and fucking put in the work, I think there's never been a better time to get a crazy ass record going and go pro.
Yeah.
Because I think it's there for the taking. Because so many people don't want to put in the work. If you want to outgrind everybody else, you're in a good position to put in the work and knock some heads off, dude.
Yeah.
You know, but it's that balance. And it's not for everybody. I know guys that grind out too and they just suck.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you have to have that right mix of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why when you see someone like I was just talking to Evan over on Saturday, you know, Evan Bolton, you know, from Hardworks, the tall, lengthy guy.
I'd have to see a picture. My names are terrible, dude. I've had too many concussions from being a retard.
I was talking to Evan Bolton, bro. He's like around my age. I think he's a few years younger than me, like 2 or 3 years younger than me. And he's still fighting, dude. He's going out to like Cambodia and fighting. He's getting like all these opportunities, dude. And it's just because he's like at the right place at the right time, bro. He's willing to like grind and go to like, you know, Cambodia
and stay active.
Yeah.
Take the opportunities when they come.
Right. He doesn't care. He's just, I mean, at this point, I'm sure now he's like about like however much he gets paid and stuff like that. But it's like in order to build his name up to there, he was willing to take the dog fights, to take the short notice fights, you know. He's fighting in Seattle, I think on Thursday, and they hit him up like literally like yesterday or something. He said, fuck it, I'll do it, you know.
Well, that's how you get the opportunity. So many guys, like they fight 3 times a year maybe or whatever. And between fights, they blow up 40 pounds, 50 pounds, and then fight time comes, and then you're not ready. So fight time, you got to grind back down, lose your weight again. Just stay within range of your fight weight so you can take those opportunities when they come.
Yeah, that part for sure. Just don't be fighting in a weight class that you have to put in work just to get to, you know?
That's another issue with this too. I think not just the fights in low quality, but like MMA's kind of influenced striking and kickboxing in that manner where the weight cutting has become such a big thing, even for amateurs. Like I've known amateur fighters that cut 20 or 30 pounds for a fight. You're not getting paid.
Yeah.
You know, I don't understand what the point is.
Yeah. Yeah. It should just be like on the amateur circuit, on the PKB circuit, it's just about getting the experience, bro. You don't have to like kill yourself for it. Make sure the technique's there, you know?
Yeah. Train, dude, build up your foundation. If you want to take it serious, go to Thailand or go to Cambodia or go to Laos or whatever. There's gyms out there. If you want to make Muay Thai your life or kickboxing, you know, there's other ways to do it.
Yeah.
One of those not being the WBC USA Muay Thai bullshit.
Dude, I keep talking to that guy. He's cool, man.
He might be cool, bro, but
what's his name? Do you remember his name? I just know
the chairman.
I just call him chairman.
He's that's fine. Get your bag, I guess. But that's kind of the big thing I've been doing on the page is just posting about that stuff because from a traditional martial arts background, I've always seen the associations and those kinds of guys like give us money and we'll make sure you're popular type of thing as like a negative. And with the coach's cert is what dinged me the first time. And that being expensive, like on the low end, $650, on the high end, over $1,000. Yeah, for the different coaches levels. And then people were DMing me, man. I like when I post, it's because somebody sent me like, hey, this is what I paid for my registration.
Right.
And so for some fighters, it was $1,000. For coaches, it was like $1,500. And travel, room, and board is not included in any of this.
No, it is. It is now. At least I just interviewed a fighter going out. He said, well, he misspoke, but he said what's included with his package is a hotel, a training spot, and 2 meals a day. So yes,
that's not what I heard.
that's what he told me. I could be wrong, or maybe they changed it up. I know this year they're doing it bigger, so that I saw that they're getting more coaches involved. I think last year they only did like 2.
Of course, they'd want to get more coaches involved if they're going to charge $1,500 for coaching coach registration.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That dude Pui, he went out there last year. I didn't see the whole video. I got to check it out. I feel like maybe I'll understand it a lot better once I see this little series on it. You know. But I want to go out there, bro, because I'm so curious to know what happens, what goes on over there, you know?
Yeah, there's positive and negative experiences. Obviously, the guys that are willing to DM me information are the ones that had negative experiences with it. But like one dude did the Italy tournament and he was like, it was bullshit, bro. Like,
yeah,
we didn't get shit. We paid a bunch of money for nothing and we ended up fighting like other Americans because they couldn't fill the brackets. And I've heard from one fighter that they're like really, really struggling to fill the brackets up for these tournaments. They kept hitting him up and he's like, I'm not going to do that shit again.
Yeah.
And my whole point with that for the money thing is I understand there's registration costs and all this stuff, but just cut it in half. Yeah, like if you're not going to include flight or travel, like, cause that ticket to fly to Thailand or whatever is like expensive.
Yeah.
So one of the things I had mentioned was like, you could take all that money you're spending on WBC and go train in Thailand for 6 months. Dude, and have a better experience.
Dude, literally everyone, like coaches that I've talked to, had said the same thing. They're like, if you just do it yourself, you'll save money and you'll have a better experience. You know?
Yeah. So I don't know. It seems like WBC is trying to make a push to make themselves, at least on that amateur side, seem more legit again. I think they kind of take a hit a little bit. To me, they take a hit on the integrity and stuff when you're charging so much. But they've been posting videos like, we try to hold the highest standard, and if you want to fight for a belt, you got to have this many fights and all that. And it's kind of like the self-fulfilling thing, dude. If you say you're the best enough and people are going to believe it, because that WBC belt used to be dope. That used to be what people wanted.
Yeah, the green and gold, bro.
Yeah.
Like literally everyone used to talk about it, bro, you know?
So we'll see. I don't know. I'll talk. I don't mind because I don't have a gym and it doesn't cost me anything financially. But watching some of the team workouts and videos that they post, I'm kind of like, dude, a little cringy on the technique, like what they're doing. And I just don't see the point in paying that much money for something you could do on your own.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And sometimes I see the fighters that are going out. This is like no diss to them, but it's like, sometimes I'm like,
that's not the best of the best, bro.
The representation for America. Yeah.
Well, it's a pay to play system.
Yeah.
If you just pay and you get in, who says you're the best at anything?
Yeah. And weren't you the one that was telling me that they had like their pricing was dependent on where you lived or something like that? Was that you or someone?
Oh, so that was another thing. Yeah. Somebody had sent me that had done this. I think it was the same guy that did the Italy tournament. He was sending me the prices for what the Italy teams paid. And it was like a third the price that the US teams are paying.
Yeah.
So that's another like kind of weird.
Red flag.
Yeah. Red flag for me, dude, and they're not having to travel, the US teams. Oh, sorry. I just
picked up. Traveling, but way less,
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, it wasn't Italy, right?
Yeah. The Italy, if the European teams traveling less and stuff.
Italy,
so on top of that, you don't even like your team suit is another $1,000 you got to pay for. You know? So it's unhappy fighters and parents of fighters of the juniors that DM me and they're like, yeah, this sucks. This is what they did.
Yeah.
So I know one dude had to have been, I don't know if it was last year or whatever. They went to Thailand. He said he got sick immediately. Coach made him still cut a bunch of weight and fight the next day.
How'd he do?
He lost.
It'd be cool if you won. It'd be a cool little Rocky story, you know?
I know, it'd be rock star, but there's just, when shit like that happens, they're not in your interest, dude. You're just pumping them up, make them look better, in my opinion. Whatever. I could be wrong. Hopefully, I'm saying something you can snip out and rage bait a bunch of people, but I don't know, dude.
Yeah, no, I get it. I don't know. I think the sport is like I have to agree with what you said earlier. It's like like the sport is regressing, but the community is getting bigger.
Yeah, there's a bigger like set of gyms and a bigger group, a bigger pool, but like overall quality, I don't think there isn't that niche gym that's killing it anymore. Mm-hmm. Because everybody has to cater to like kickboxing and MMA, and everybody's got to pay their bills. So, and I get it, dude. That's why I went out of business. I didn't do belt testing and all that shit in kids class and stuff.
Yeah,
you don't make your money off of fighters groups for sure.
Well, it's also too, I understand you're going to make your money off the casuals, dude, but I think it's the gym's responsibility to teach them about the sport, It's like you want to turn the casual not into a fitness fan, but into like a Muay Thai fan, right? Mm-hmm. Like you want to show them like this is why, like you're coming in here because you want to lose weight or whatever, but this is the reason this gym exists is because we have fighters, right? It's like, we're going to cater to you and what you need. But I want you to know who our fighters are. I want you to get involved with watching their fights. Whether if you can't afford to go see them, at least just go like it on Instagram or something. It's like, you know what I mean. I feel like that's kind of like where we're at right now. Is a lot of gyms are just comfortable with making money off your membership. That they're not trying to. I guess they're not helping promote their brand and their fighter and stuff like that anymore.
Yeah, it's a weird mix because like my boy James, he built his gym up. He's doing decent now, and like when we went to the semi-contact IFS stuff, he had a huge crowd, and I think that's because he's got integrity as a person. So like he doesn't compromise anything to coach. He coaches how he wants, and he attracts that group of people that want to just train for the sake of training.
Yeah.
The same thing with your gym, Spider, right? You guys are dedicated because your coach loves doing it,
Yeah, we show up, dude. That's the thing too. Is and I don't want to just gas my own gym up, but
gas them up.
I'm not saying we're the best gym. Obviously, you can look at our records. We lost. We went 0-2 just last Saturday at WCK. But one thing about our gym, bro, is we sell tickets, bro. And I kind of like go back and forth with my coach about this because it's like one of the things we don't do is we don't separate the classes. We don't have a pro class. And I think that kind of helps with the ticket sales because like the casuals that, like I said, are coming for fitness, it's like they're getting used to seeing our fighters, it's not like a wall between them. They're seeing them every day. They're seeing the grind. They're getting to know them on a personal level, and I think that helps with just the brand. It just helps people get like at least watch Muay Thai for a night,
Yeah, and it motivates them to have something to strive for.
Yeah, and I go back and forth with Coach about that because I was like, man, I do want to. I just had a conversation with some dude that I think you might have liked this post, the one about that guy that talked about how not to get mad when you have to get partner up.
Oh yeah, the English dude.
Yeah. Because I do feel like that a lot of the times, and I've been going to Spider for like close to 10 years now, so a lot of the times I'm gonna have someone new in my group because it's like Frankie wants me to teach this guy, can't be everywhere at once. And so sometimes I do feel like that. I'm like, damn, this sucks. Like now my training is like just got cut down by a third because this guy can't hold pads,
Yeah.
But my bad. Sorry.
Finish.
my bad. So what I was trying to say is, it just helps build that community up, bro. It's not separating like something like not separating the pros from the actual fighters. It just gives you like that unity, right? That's it.
No, dude, 100%. Because that's how, when I started training at OC, that's how it was. Everybody was training together. And that's how I had it at my gym. And it gives people something to shoot for, seeing guys that are good. Because when I was training at OC, they didn't really have like a competition team or anything like that. Everybody was just training for the sake of it. Mm-hmm. And like even the fucking soccer moms had like abs and were in shape and could run 5 miles, So the risk is there's always like a back and forth because the risk becomes do your good guys get injured sparring a newbie? Because newbies are like super dangerous, right?
Yeah, they're freaking everywhere.
Right. So there's always that back and forth, to it. But like we all started at zero. None of us were born being good at Muay Thai, and we're talking about like the guys that get decent getting pissed off at the new guys, like, and you're talking about your training goes down. Like, are you training for a fight?
Yeah, that's true.
Do you have competition coming up? Do you have a 6-figure contract on the line?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Swallow it and fucking help the newbie.
Yeah, no, it's facts. But I can see where fighters would feel that way too, But I don't know. It's a back and forth. Well, it's a battle I have with myself. Like separate the pros or don't separate the pros. But at the end of the day, it's like if you want the gym to grow, you're gonna have to not separate the pros. You
could always still have like make the majority of your classes, open to everybody, and then just have if you did have a focused fight team, just every once in a while do like a team training or something that's focused for them.
Yeah, well, when I went to Master Toddy's, I don't know if it was always around this way or just that one day. One of the things I noticed is they'll separate the experienced people, but not like at a different time. They'll just have them go train inside the ring, and then the casuals are outside the ring. And I think that's cool because that's the way you can have everyone under one roof, but at least your pro team is still getting work,
Yeah, it's a good system.
I like that. I don't know if that's how they do it or if, like I said, it just happened. I showed up that day and all the good fighters ended up in the ring,
There's a lot that goes into like partner matching because when I used to do it, I would try to get the guys matched up on not necessarily skill level, but like body size, like weight size, try to get them as close as possible to being matched up that way. Yeah. And then if there was somebody new, I would drop down the combo or whatever, drop down the technique a little bit for them. But one thing I would try to tell guys when I was coaching them is like, take that opportunity to like try to improve your own technique. Cause if you're helping a newbie, that makes you have to think about how you're doing it. That's how I got better at this too, was like having to coach and hold pads and think about how I instruct and how I do the technique,
Yeah, no, that helps a lot is when you're teaching someone else, it allows you to really break the fundamentals down. Sometimes you kind of forget stuff or you skip over stuff because you get so used to being able to do it, right? Like sometimes like you get so used to be punching that you kind of forget that maybe you got to widen your stance a little bit more. Like sink down a little bit more.
Yeah, there's so much that goes into it. I don't know. I'm not a business bro. I'm not I obviously am a failed gym owner, so I never figured out the secret to do it right. So take my word for what it is.
Yeah, no, I get you. I don't know how to run a business, dude. I just know how I like to train.
Yeah, right.
So, but no, I mean, like, I've seen the business side for Spider, and I've seen us grow. So, I think the way Frankie's doing it is better for business. And at the end of the day, if you want your gym to be there, you got to make money, bro.
Yeah.
So I think you, as like as a representative of your flag, your team, it's like you should be actively trying to do things to help your gym make money because it really doesn't, dude.
And you don't want to be that dude at the gym that makes somebody quit. You don't want to be the douche that kicks out a newbie and makes them quit.
Yeah.
Unless they're toxic, or I hate that word toxic, but unless there's newbies that you can tell are not going to be good for the gym. Maybe you do force them out, but if somebody's trying to learn and their first impression is somebody being a dick and not wanting to work with them, that's not a great impression for the gym.
Yeah. I know a lot of times new people get so happy after you like teach them some, I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the reason your coach will probably put you with the new guy a lot if you're experienced is because a lot of the times when I have someone super new, I'm not even doing what the drill is because they just can't do it.
Yeah, they can't do it. Fuck
just teaching them the basics, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's something that like I think someone that doesn't have as much experience might not be like in tune with. They're just going to teach whatever they see.
Yeah.
And you can't have the blind lead the blind.
Let them do whatever. Who cares? It's there's that balance I struggle with because I see gyms that do the tiered payment system and like the levels and stuff, and it makes sense for running a business, but then like the pay to play system, I don't like. I've heard rumors from a certain gym where they're kind of falling apart a little bit. Not falling apart, but like a lot of inner turmoil because people are noticing like if you're not on the fight team and if you don't pay the super high price, coach kind of doesn't give a fuck about you. Everything's to promote the gym, not in a good way, but like just to promote that you're the best as opposed to like promoting the fighters.
Yeah.
Everything's about the brand. You were talking about branding gyms. Like there's that balance to branding the gym and like still caring about your fighters. And this gym in particular cares about the brand versus the student, which I saw that years ago when it happened. Yeah. I'm sure people could figure out who I'm talking about.
I got a few on my head. I don't know though, so I'm not gonna if you want to speak, go ahead.
There's always the gym I bitch about, but
yeah,
rumors are persisting. They may or may not have had a coach just quit, and they may or may not have like one of their high profile people being like, "What the fuck is going on here?" and ready to quit too.
Yeah.
So there's shady that happens, dude.
It happens, man. It's just different business models, I guess, right? And catering to different aspects of the community. I don't know which one's the right one, bro.
Who knows? I don't know. I'm not rich at this, dude. I have to work an office job like an adult.
Yeah.
Dude,
so Sanchez, bro, did you see his last KO? It was his 328th win in Muay Thai.
Jeez.
How many KOs was it? Damn, I wrote it wrong. I wrote down how many KOs he had, but it was something crazy. 328th win, and you gotta like for people at home that don't understand how Thailand operates. There's a good majority of those fights were bigger guys.
He's always fighting somebody bigger than him.
At this point, it seems like
yeah.
Right?
Well, he's a
like
small
physically
dude.
bigger. Is what
physically bigger, yeah. But a lot of his fights now, and he's old, so
43 or something.
Yeah,
right?
to take it for what it is. But he does fight a lot of like, I don't want to say inexperienced, but like, how do you get the same level of experience as Senchai, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting because when you watch his fights, you can kind of tell the skill level of the opponent. If Senchai's around and like looking relaxed, his opponent's probably not that great. The second he gets cracked and like buckles down and takes it serious, you can see that shift in him, when he starts really taking it serious. But he's still fast as he's still like smoking all these guys. So
athletic still.
He's very athletic, That was always the big thing too with his seminars. What I noticed is how fast he is. Because people try to do his shit and his stuff, but like you don't have his superpowers. You don't have his fight IQ. Don't do that.
Yeah. One thing I noticed too is the way he walks. Is he's very springy like the whole time, bro. Which is like that's very tiring,
Yeah,
constantly be springy like that,
That comes all from his foundation, dude. From doing it from a little kid.
Yeah,
there's so much conditioning stuff that they do starting out that Americans don't do anymore, or I've never done. And it sounds stupid. Like I think the downside to training in the West is we have an ego about we think we know the best way to do it and to train. There's just so much foundational conditioning that they don't do. There's an Instagram page and his whole thing on his page is red flags for a gym. If your gym does this, it's, maybe you're at the wrong spot. And one of the things that he had mentioned was if your gym's making you do conditioning and sit-ups and push-ups, you're paying to learn techniques, not to exercise. You can do exercise on your own. And I was like, that's probably his fucking worst take ever, dude.
Yeah.
Especially for kickboxing, Muay Thai, and jiu-jitsu. Like, dedicated conditioning is what builds up your body to be able to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the things, like, at OC they would harp on is that conditioning, because it's one thing to know the technique, but if your body can't physically do it or you don't have the gas tank to do it, what the fuck is the point?
Yeah. Conditioning will beat technique a lot of times. Not
Dude,
every time, but a lot of times.
I'm telling you now, man, in the amateur scene, if you have a gas tank, a jab cross, and a kick, you're going to win most of your fights.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. So many people gas out. There's fights I'm watching from fighters, and you can tell it's the gas tank that slows them down. There's fighters that have range and they look to be more athletic. They have the size and they lose. It's kind of no excuse. You got to have the gas to punch somebody in the fucking face, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. So Sanchez still doing it, bro. I think he's retiring probably soon. He has to, right?
He could probably keep this shit up for 50.
Dude. Well, Yoel Romero just fought too yesterday at BKFC. He's about 49 years old, right? You saw that?
Yeah, dude, it's the other thing that'll get Sanchez back is to hop on all the juice.
I think he's probably on it, bro.
You think so?
I think Thailand doesn't care, right?
They don't care.
Yeah.
He just doesn't look like he's on it.
Well, I don't think he's juicing to get swole. I'm pretty sure he's juicing for like actual like recovery type. You know what I mean? But yeah, if you were to juice to get yoked, that'd be interesting.
Turn into Buakaw again.
Dude, imagine if he gets like Yoel Romero, dude.
That'd be sick.
That'd
be the second coming of Sanchez right there.
I would love to see that, dude. He's gonna murder someone.
Let's get him some tests.
I think we should, bro. Sanchez, if you're watching this, hop on, dude.
Who's his buddy out here? Like Daniel Gutierrez is his homie, right?
Yeah.
From Burbank.
Defiant.
For Defiant.
I'm like,
Daniel.
he's literally messaging me right now. It's funny.
Daniel gets Sanchez on the juice.
Yeah.
Recommended, dude. We got all the peptides to get him on some BPC 157, some TB 500.
Yep.
And get him on some Reddit to lose a little weight.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be sick.
Dude, did you see Daniel's last promotion on Thursday?
I saw he was doing the promotional on top of a building, all fancy style.
That looked crazy.
What was it? Was it the Elbow Fight League that he was doing, or was it something else?
It was just kickboxing. It was just a private event for kickboxing.
Oh, really?
Fancy. You had to get invited to.
That's sick.
No ticket sales.
That's sick.
Yeah, so I think some person hosted it and they just paid for everything. Like, there's no ticket sales from what I understand.
Dude, that's a good way to do it.
Right. Everyone is a suit and tie event, so even if you're in the bleachers, you had to wear a suit and tie type, or not like a button up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool. Hopefully he keeps more shit going. It was funny. The Thai Festival was last weekend or the weekend before?
Yeah.
Last weekend, right?
2 weeks, I think.
And,
no, last weekend, yeah.
Yeah, and he was posting about how they were charging for the fights.
They did that last year, bro.
Did they really?
Yeah, dude, they started doing that.
That sucks.
Yeah, last year it was put on by WBC. Yeah, was that last year or the year before? I can't remember. I think it was last year. It was put on by it's put on by actually the last two they've been charging for.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last two, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's been hosted by the WBC, and so now it's like they put like a wall up or something. And I think it was the last year they actually had it separated, right? So you had the Thai festival, and then the fights were somewhere else, like close by. I think if I remember correctly, I could be me misspeaking. I smoke a lot of weed, but yeah, I noticed that, and I was like, man, that's freaking whack, dude. Like, you're already paying so much for all the stuff there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so like, dude, that's what the Thai festival was about. Was like, you know, you get
spreading
to watch
the culture.
fights. Yeah.
Yeah, when we went way back in the day, I had some guys compete on it, and it was free, and it had been free for a long time. So I can get why people are upset, but at the same time, it does cost money to do. But
making money off the freaking festival,
right?
Like, what are you talking about, dude? Like,
I almost got into a comment war with, I think it's probably one of Daniel's homies, because the thing I always say about or talk about all the time is stop hating and grow the sport. Yeah, which is just like, it's a joke because that's always the criticism, like the older guard always say, you know, like. The Muay Thai kickboxing gyms and David Huey's, whatever. David, he's a cool guy, but he says this sometimes where it's like, don't criticize, man, grow the sport, guys. And to me, that's code for give me my money. Yeah. You know, so somebody commented on there is like, Daniel's done more for the sport than your page has ever done. And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, I agree with him. Like, I was kidding. You read it wrong.
Dude, he's got some hardcore fans, bro, Dan. But he's been doing it for a minute, bro.
Yeah.
He's been putting on a lot of shows, bro. So I don't know where we go from there, dude. I mean, I don't think the problem is like, so it's like, I'm not sure if WBC hosted it this year, right? But
they didn't. So there was a thing because like, I forgot who sent it to me, but they were bitching about the ticket sales thing, and It's somebody that used to be part of the WBC USA team, and he was using the old posters, and he just like covered up the WBC part. Gotcha. So he's like separated now.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know where they go. I don't think people. I mean, I guess the fighters that are fighting, they're going to sell their tickets to, to their fans, their friends, their family, right? But I think for the general public, I don't think people like the people that are going to the Thai festival aren't going to watch fights.
No, and it didn't seem like it was advertised well for the fights to be, like tickets sold or whatever. Because I didn't realize anything, especially and like last year too. I think I went last year, and I didn't know the tickets were for sale. So if you're upfront about it, if you advertise correctly and say, yeah, just buy tickets, I don't think people are going to have a problem. But if you advertise as a free show, and typically it's been free to watch the fights, and then you go and there's tickets for sale, you're kind of like, what the
yeah.
It just depends, dude. I can get it from the perspective it costs money, but it's been free forever, and so I can also see why people are pissed off about it.
Yeah, man. I was like not cool with it. I was like, what? I mean, it's not that serious, bro. It's like it is a fight. I get that, but it's supposed to be for funsies, Like we're supposed to have fun. That's the one fight where we just come, we hang out. Like people from different gyms can come, like socialize with each other. I mean, obviously they can at every event, but it just hits different at during the Thai New Year,
Yeah, it's supposed to be the time to come together,
right? It's the time Thai.
It's Thai time
to come together. So I didn't like that, and it is hard when you make something free and then you start charging for it. So
just give everybody a heads up. Fuck it.
I mean, if you're gonna pay for it, if I'm gonna pay for it, you gotta give me something, bro. Yeah, I better get some free shirts or something, bro. Give me some merch, dog.
You're getting the fights, bro.
Give me like a shirt that says, Thai New Year. I don't know, a jersey or something, bro.
That'd be cool. A little training jersey.
Yeah,
that would require effort, though.
Yeah, you gotta think of some stuff. Hire me for marketing, dude.
It's tough because, like, you have gyms doing promotions, right? Royal Combat is hosted by a gym. I forget what the gym is. They do a good job. There's always there's conflict of interest when you're promoting fights and then you're matchmaking and stuff. And Daniel is like posting, give me back the Thai Fight Festival. I'll do it right and whatever. And I'm sure for Daniel it comes from a good place, but there's always the perspective of like everybody's kind of out for themselves, trying to get money, right? I don't know if you heard it a lot when you started training, but the big thing I always heard was no egos. There's no egos in Muay Thai, no egos. That was like all the Brian Popejoy generation of coaches that would say that. The irony being that they had the biggest egos and they hated each other and everybody would talk about each other behind their backs and stuff. And like that, it's, we want to grow the Muay Thai sport, but everybody's cutthroat. Everybody wants it for themselves,
But when it comes to the business side, it's like, especially now that I've gotten older, it's like I'm like talking in my podcast too. Is like I talk to people behind the scenes, and it's like at the end of the day, it's just business. So it's like if you're not making money, then you can't keep doing it, And it's really hard, bro. I spoke to like Dennis and I've spoken to Hung and like a lot. So they have events where they don't make any money, bro. It's like they barely break even type stuff. So it makes it hard to continue to grow the sport when you're struggling just to pay for the events, And I just think that's a California thing, though, dude. I just think we're overregulated. We charge too much for everything,
Yeah, fees, medical, insurance, venue insurance, whatever's going on. That's why, again, it kind of sucks, too, that Fighters Rep folded or quit or whatever with George. Because same thing, he wasn't making money on any of those shows, but the effort he put into that was a lot higher than like WCK. Because like they don't, WCK doesn't stream their fights or anything. Did I break your computer? Okay. No, but I think I might have said last time, and if they charged like $10 to stream the fight, I'd pay $10 to watch the fights, on stream or on YouTube or whatever. There has to be more effort overall put into these shows. You got to stream. You got to fucking
streaming's important, bro.
That's the biggest one, I think.
Yeah, you got to get that. I know it sucks because it costs a lot more and stuff, and it's very technical. So you have to hire like outside sources. You have to pay a company to host it and all that, right? But I mean, a lot of these kids like don't want to show up to events, man. Like it's like, you know what I mean? They'd rather watch it at home. I know a lot of people that they want to
I'd rather watch it at home. I don't want to go pay $25 for parking and then $70 for a ticket.
Let's go. I like to go to events. It's fun for me. I socialize. I just get drunk. I hang out with different people. I like to walk around and just meet random people,
I'm a grumpy old man now. I don't like how loud it is.
There's a lot of people that come like from that stance, so that's why you really do got to stream it, dude,
I like, goodness, my stuttering. Aside from the streaming too, like posting it up on YouTube or something, put it behind a $5 paywall. Who cares? Or a membership or something. But I want to be able to go back and watch the amateur fights. I like watching the fights and seeing where people are at and seeing like what gyms are, especially when there's so many local fighters who I know through the Instagram page or through my gym that I want to watch fight. And I don't want to spend $120 or whatever, because like I'm a little bougie. I'll buy the VIP seats. I don't want to go in the nosebleeds. So
I don't even sit a lot of times. I'm literally just like standing next to the ring, bro. As close as I can get. Yeah. I'll literally just stand in front of the rings, just to watch stuff,
Yeah. Hopefully, I don't know. I don't know where things go to grow or how we do things better.
I think the biggest problem right now is the cost of running the shows, bro. I think if California could chill out a little bit, bro, and
it's never gonna happen.
That's the biggest. I think that's the biggest.
Setback. Yeah, roadblock.
Yeah, is the money, bro. Because if you got to pay all these fees, it's like, is it going to be worth running the show if you're only making like $1,000 for all the headaches or even breaking even, right? So I think if we can get because dude, people are willing to pay for these things. They'll pay $60 to go watch amateur fighters, bro. You know what I mean? So the money's there. It's just the cost is too high. So Gavin Newsom's got to figure that one out, bro.
He's not figuring out. He doesn't want any of that. Yeah, fucking ticket sales. I like the VIP seats, dude. I like that. But maybe one thing is have less events, because it does seem like there are quite a bit of events that go on. People pull out at the last second. I think there was a fight last week and a bunch of guys pulled out on the day with no excuse. I posted a couple of them that happened. There were some others that happened that they didn't want it posted. So I forgot what fight it was, but Tyreek from Mission hit me up and he's like, this guy pulled out. I think Tyreek was supposed to fight and the dude like pulled out the day of.
Yeah, that's for the WCK event.
Was it Yeah, I think so. Like a couple weeks ago.
I think there's a Royal Combat on Sunday.
Or maybe it was one of those.
Yeah. The other thing too I noticed too is they need promotions got to stop using the same venue.
Oh, Thunder Studios, dude, and Commerce Casino.
Because to me, it's like it makes no difference at this point. Everything's set up the same. Everything feels the same. It's like Royal Combat, WCK. It's just the logo on the front now,
Yeah.
So they gotta I don't know how they're gonna do that one. And I actually spoke to Hung about this, and he told me that because I was curious about these things. He just says that once you see a promotion find a new venue, then it's like a bunch of other promotions will start hitting him up, and mostly because a lot of the times when you get into a new spot, they're willing to charge less, and then once now they're starting to book more fights and stuff, they're like, all right, now we're gonna charge more, right? So Hung, he actually, when he did that pickleball, it's that event on last Saturday for WCK was at the pickleball escape room. He actually had I don't know if it's in a contract, but he was like, hey, if we do this here, he's like, you guys can't host any other fights.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's only WCK. I don't know if it's for a year. I didn't really get into the details, but yeah, he said that before they actually even had the event that, I'm not going to throw him out there, but he said the owner of another promotion came by to check out the venue was at, because the address was already posted when they were promoting it, I guess he had gone over there and talked to them and see see what the price was, see if they'd be willing to host his league, but yeah, obviously they said no because they have, they're doing Hung's thing.
Yeah, that's the tricky side of it again too, because you're like, we're supposedly trying to grow things, right? But then we're doing it like that, and it's beneficial to Hung and WCK because they want to get something set that's just theirs. But then, what about everybody else?
Yeah, it sucks, but you guys gotta get out there, man.
Guys need to stop pulling out the day before.
Yeah,
it's especially for amateurs, dude. What's the fucking worst thing that's gonna happen? You're gonna lose. Maybe you get knocked out. Yeah. Big fucking deal, bro. Who cares? I've had my face pounded in. It's not the end of the world. Too many guys are concerned about, they want to have the perfect setup, the perfect match. And it's funny because everybody takes the fight assuming they're going to kick your ass.
Yeah.
If you're the opponent. But
that's why I love when fighters just trust their coach. They're like, I don't care whoever my coach picks. I don't even make that decision. I just sign it,
Yeah, that was the old school Muay Thai mentality, dude. How many Thai fights just regardless. Fight a bigger opponent, fight a better person, or not better per se, but bigger person, whatever. All the Kit Songrit fights, he was always fighting giants. Yeah. Senchai fights bigger guys,
That was a good era, bro. The 90s, it was like a different time in combat sports, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was, like I said, bro, it goes back to what we opened up with. That was when the only point of fighting was to prove yourself, right? The money was irrelevant. The fans was irrelevant. You know what I mean? It just was like, hey, I think I'm the best fighter. I think what I can do is going to be your style or what your size, and let's do it.
All the old school style versus style matchups.
Those are my favorite, bro. Those are my favorite.
They got to bring shit like that back. Well, they kind of do it, kind of sort of, you know, like Karate Combat had like karate versus Muay Thai night
Yeah, I
or
was literally
whatever.
about
That
to
was
bring him
cool.
up. Yeah, yeah. People were saying like, why does Karate Combat always make people wear the gi?
I mean, that's your style.
Yeah, I get it. I think I think there's discussions about at least taking away the belt, you know, because it doesn't make sense to put a black belt on everyone, bro.
I mean, you can pay for a black belt. Who cares?
Yeah.
You can get a black belt for nothing.
Well, I think the consensus is like, even though you're not a black belt in karate, let's say you're a kickboxer or Muay Thai, it's like if you're fighting at this level, it's like you're probably considered a black belt in that sport, maybe.
Yeah, give it 10 years. Every fucking Muay Thai gym is going to be doing black belts. And
That's how they do it in South America. I learned that that's like big over there.
yeah, the shoot box and stuff.
Yeah, they have a belt system.
Or Brazilian, they call it Brazilian Muay Thai and stuff too. But like shoot box came from like half Muay Thai and half Taekwondo, so the belt system kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm just not a fan of it. It's never been a thing for Muay Thai traditionally.
No, it hasn't
Ranks.
been. They're trying to, the Thai government, they actually were discussing making that like an official thing from, because you know Muay Thai is recognized as like a national sport, right? So like football, similar to like football out here. So they were talking about using like a belt system because like when they're trying to get into the Olympics, it's like one of the speculations was they had to have like a ranking system, right?
That's
like,
gonna be the dumbest, dude. That never helped anything.
Yeah, I guess they were able to not. I think the people that like the traditionalists were able to like make some type of an agreement with the Olympics and be like, we're not gonna do a belt system, but we'll do better with our record keeping, because you know how Thai record keeping is, bro. You don't fucking know,
Just make
dude.
some shit up.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I think so. And I don't know what the belt would have meant. Well, I guess because I know in Taekwondo, like when you get a belt, you're actually getting a certificate. It's like actually authorized by like WTC or like what the other
Yeah,
one is.
but to me that doesn't mean anything, dude. It used to be back in the
WCF,
day,
I'm
like
sorry.
when we got black belts in like karate, and shit, our instructor said like, okay, cool, that means you've learned the basics,
Yeah.
and now you can kick without falling over.
Yeah.
So you're just starting out. So like people take the black belt as like I'm the master of this sport or whatever. And there's been so many. I mean, more often than not, somebody with a black belt is dog. You know, unless it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or something that has a bit of a more standardized like belt system or whatever you want to call it, like regulation system, or I don't know what you would say, like a higher standard of learning, you know, to have a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, it's standardized, and to get a black belt is at minimum like 10 years, I believe, or close to 10 years, right? So it's like you're going to be pretty good at something if you do it for that long, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to say gyms, you know, but when I was doing Taekwondo, there was people that would get a black belt and like
Yeah, and that's the thing about it is the belt doesn't mean anything.
and for people that are listening that are like, oh, 2 years is a long time. Taekwondo has like a crap load of belts.
Yeah.
So you're literally getting belts very like frequently, right? But I also went to like my first dojo was like not about that, bro. He was very like traditionalist, barely spoke English type, you know. And it was like if you're like at my first dojo that I went to, if you're gonna get a new belt, it was like a big thing. It was like he had like his sensei come to watch you, and then it would be a bunch of other schools would come and they would do them all together, right? So my first dojo, we never did like in-house belt what would you call it, like
Promotions or testing.
promotions, right? It was like a bunch of schools would come together, so it'd only be a few times a year. It was a big event, you know. So yeah, there's definitely still gyms that, at least from my experience, that you know keep that foundation of like we're gonna build you and take time to get to that black belt, you know. But then the second gym I went to, bro, it was like a money grab, dude. It was such. I think did I talk to you about it? I think I did on your episode when I did your episode. How I mentioned how like he made me go back until like he wanted me to be a white belt again when I was already like
just to start over and get more money.
Yeah, he told me that he told me and my mom that it was because I came from a different dojo, and so he felt like my technique wasn't there, you know. And so that gave me the impression like, oh, this is a good gym. Like like he has a higher standard. It was just a money grab. He just was like, nah, you're already halfway down the line, dude. He's like, I want you to start from the beginning, you know.
That's funny. When I was doing karate and stuff, they had karate and judo as like the two main martial arts that the instructor was teaching. And he was the opposite. Like if somebody came in with a black belt from another school, I'd be like, okay,
that's it. Yeah.
And so we'd have guys that would be like, oh, no, I'll start over. It's fine. And it was usually the judo guys because like judo had a lot more like associations and regulation over it. So like if you were, I don't know what the organization was for judo, but if you were a black belt under that system, he'd be like, all right, cool. Like it's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? It's like they have it all. Yeah, Taekwondo, it's like you'd get a certificate and stuff like that. It just like, because I think in that scenario, it was just my second sensei was just a freaking whore with money. Honestly. And there's other things too. Like I remember I had to buy new sparring gear because he said my shit wasn't like, he didn't accept the gear I came with, you know, for my, because I at the time, like I would just buy the gear from the gym. They'd have like a pack, like it would come with the gym bag, the shin pads, you know, it was just a whole like pack you'd buy from the gym, you know, and have their logo on it, you know. I mean, I think some Muay Thai gyms will do it with the shin pads and the gloves, right? type deal. So I came over there and he was like, nah, he's like, our gear is better, more protective or something. I felt I was in love with the sauce. So I was pushing my mom like, no, this gym's good. This dojo's good. It's the best one in Anaheim type, but then I got older and I was like, nah, he just freaking wanted money.
Swindling you for the cash.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't like the belt system for Muay Thai either. Cause there's already gyms that do that. And there's already gyms that do the armband testing too. And like, the guys that come out of that system, they take it so serious and they think like, oh no, I'm a black belt or I'm a black armband, parijad, whatever. Like I know what I'm doing. Or they get the certificates from the Thai consulate, I'm a crew certificate thing. And like, that doesn't mean dude.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a money grab. It's a way to stay open. And I get it. You want to keep your doors open for everything, but I've never seen an association or anything like that come into a sport, add belts, add payments for certifications and all that stuff and make it better. It's always just made it worse. It's always been the start of the end for the sport to me. Like karate started doing that when I was into it. And it was just like, now karate's gay as,
Yeah.
Like it's never been a good sign for the sport.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, it's also because I feel like it just, now we have kickboxing is really popular and, Muay Thai is cool. So I feel like a lot of those traditional sports are just kind of like having to decline just because we're more focused on like the 4 pillars of MMA now, like boxing, Muay Thai / kickboxing, jiu-jitsu and wrestling. So yeah, I think there's a place for those traditional sports, but I think those, like, if you're doing like kung fu, it's like, we gotta be realistic here, right?
Yeah, it's funny though, because like kung fu and all that, right? What do they do when they get into MMA? Everybody it all becomes like kickboxing.
Yeah.
There was a fight. I don't know if the dude fought, but his highlight reel, he was like a kung fu guy, and his highlight reel was like fighting or beating up Karate Kid. What was his name? The kid that used to be active and amateur all the time, Claycomb.
Oh yeah.
So
are you talking about Majali or
no? This is some kung fu kid, and his whole thing was like him beating up Michael Claycomb on the karate fights. So I'm representing kung fu, but it's all just kickboxing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
Well,
shit's weird.
Yeah, well, on the contrast to that was that one UFC fighter? He was a Vietnamese cat, not Nam Pham, but the other guy, actually from like China. Oh, dude, I can't remember, but he came into the UFC as a kung fu fighter, but he was like not really a kung fu fighter. I think that's just what like a lot of people kind of like to say.
Mm-hmm.
He was like he did like the more modern version of, let's say, kung fu, but it's called Sanda, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Sanda's not even. It's basically Muay Thai.
It's kickboxing,
but with takedowns.
Yeah.
With wrestling. It's just it's basically kickboxing with takedowns. But they for some reason branded it as like kung fu. I guess because they do a lot of spinning. So he came in. I remember he came into the UFC and he would put kung fu fighter. But then, when I was a kid, I was like, oh, he's doing kung fu.
Was it Chun-Li?
Chun-Li. He's all Republican now, dude. It's crazy because he's like super, and nothing against Republicans, but it's like he acts like he's like
with the shit.
Like he's like, I don't know, like the most, I don't know how to say, I don't want to offend him because I like him, dude. But he's very, like, I would, if I was closing my eyes, I think he was a Peckerwood, You know what Peckerwood
too
is,
whitewashed.
Right? You know what Peckerwood is, right?
Yeah. Thank you for white people.
No offense, bro, but it's just crazy because I'm like, bro, aren't you from China? Like, what the hell, bro?
That's funny.
Yeah, but I remember he came into the UFC and I was like, yeah, we got a kung fu fighter, but I got older and I was like, he's not doing kung fu.
No, it all devolves into kickboxing. I don't think any of that shit works. We got so like, I don't want to say brainwashed, but we all grew up like on the 80s, kung fu movies or Bloodsport or all these action things, the Jet Li, Jackie Chan movies. And that's all choreography. Like none of that shit works. None of that has ever worked. Like all that stuff, all the Bruce Lee, the whatever. It's always come down to like Kyokushin karate is kickboxing, basically, like kickboxing, Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, boxing. And that's again the thing with a black belt, right? So like you get a black belt, you spend 4 or 5 years doing some kind of striking system, you get a black belt, and some MMA dude beats your ass up in 6 months of training. Like what does that belt mean?
Yeah.
Nothing, dude.
Yeah. Crazy, man. And like, I'm not saying don't do those sports. I think those sports have their place, but I just really dislike when people come from like those backgrounds and they start talking smack on like MMA or I defend Muay Thai because that's my sport. But even though I love Muay Thai, I understand, bro. A good MMA fighter will be a really good Muay Thai fighter. Most of the times of the day.
That happened with Rodtang versus Johnson.
Yeah, that was kind of hard though because Johnson was like, they're both very skilled fighters, but like I'm sorry, was it Demetrius Johnson? No.
Yeah, Demetrius Johnson.
That's so funny, right? Yeah, DJ, he's like a one, well, he's like the Sanchai of MMA. You know what I mean? A better comparison would have been a younger Sanchai versus a TJ. That would have been like excellent fight right there.
Well, it's interesting because of the rule set, right? So the first round was striking and the second round was MMA. So the first round, Rodtang hit him a few times and he's like, nope.
TJ ran away and just showed up.
I don't want any of this. Yeah. And then the second round, he took him down.
Yeah.
It's interesting because DJ is like the best, like one of the best strikers for MMA, and Rodtang shut him down completely.
Yeah.
And that's that fucking skill gap between the two sports.
Well, yeah, dude. You have one guy that only practices one skill versus another guy. He has a very good skill set for striking and stuff, but it has to work for MMA. So there's things that like the base is going to be a little bit wider. The weight is going to be more distributed evenly, Yeah,
there's the differences. That's why I say you can't be like Muay Thai champ and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt and put them together. Yeah. It's not the same.
Well, even the defense in MMA is your first defense is your footwork, right? So it's like you're trying to slide out of shots versus like catching, and so that removes your. It doesn't remove it, but it makes it a lot harder to counter. And so if you have a Muay Thai guy that's used to just like moving forward and striking, it's like now you're just moving backwards, right? At that point, which is exactly what you saw. Is like you started seeing DJ get put up against the fence, and then he started literally running away, turning his back, you know, because he couldn't get the space he needed to defend. He wasn't comfortable with using his blocks and his like that inside defense,
Yeah, it's funny because like that MMA style of doing stuff, and it's all in the rule sets. Once it switched to MMA rules, DJ had the advantage.
Yeah.
But on a pure striking, like the MMA striking, the clinch, all that does not work anymore against like a high level Muay Thai when it's just Muay Thai rules only.
Yeah.
When it switched to the MMA, he took him down and choked him out.
Yeah. And that's what I love ONE FC is like for those type of fights. That's why I don't want to see it go away, bro. I just think, man, honestly, maybe you got to get rid of Chatri or something, bro. Or maybe Chatri needs to sit down and let someone else kind of.
Well, that was the other thing, though, that we didn't talk about is they also fired like a bunch of their head staff, their higher ups.
Did they?
Yeah, like not Frank Mir. I always did this. I would always confuse Frank Mir with Rich Franklin.
Oh, yeah.
Rich Franklin was
their
gone.
Commentary staff, yeah.
But a lot of people, like a lot of the higher ups just got fired.
Yeah, I saw that actually.
So it really seems like they're trying to cut costs.
Yeah, and they got rid of that one. Did they get rid of I think they fired what was his name? The Dragon? His nickname's the Dragon?
Oh, I'm not sure.
He worked for ONE FC. He did like a lot of their commentary and stuff like that.
Yeah, you were talking about they get investment money, but if they're not making money, whereas like the investors are eventually going to start, like, no, you're not taking more of my money.
That's exactly what you're seeing because they've had like I think 2 or 3 rounds of investment like given to them, and I think it's getting to the point where they're like, hey, we need to see like a return on this, or
yeah,
you know what I mean.
Their promotion style has always been weird too, like how they actually promote the fighters, because UFC is obviously like they try to make superstars and they talk, and that's where these guys get all their
publicity.
Their publicity from is talking shit and making the fight exciting, and you want to like WWE, right? He copied that model exactly. ONE FC's started out as like, no, it's about the martial artist and the fighter. And then they got weird and like you had, who is that female fighter? Stamp dancing and twerking into the ring.
I like that.
I am not a fan, bro.
I liked it. That was cool. Cause that's a cool way there's a compilation of her just doing her little dances and then fucking people up. And I thought it was cool. It's a creative way to try to promote. I don't think the way they run their business model in terms of like the and all that. I'm not against it. I think it's cool to be honorable and stuff. I think maybe just leave it up to the athlete, but maybe encourage them to not talk to the shit,
Yeah, it's weird because like, again, they're focused on Asia, right? So if you try to come to an American audience, this is going to just take it for what it is. Like when you don't speak English well, you can't talk it well.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And that's not going to promote well to a US audience.
Yeah.
So you got to promote it on the violence or the quality of the fight, or like these guys are going to kill each other. Like,
yeah.
So who knows? Who knows where it goes? I don't think it disappears. I think they're going to cut a bunch of stuff. Maybe the promotion quality goes down, it'll still be where Thais can make their money, or Chinese can make their money, because like Rodtang, he's not going to get rich fighting in the stadiums in Thailand. But like one paycheck from ONE FC will set him up for life.
Yeah. Well, I think he got $3 million one of his fights. So that's probably like a decent amount over there, bro. That's like, he's probably making the same money as like a doctor over there, maybe more probably. Yeah.
And that money thing goes into like why, looping it back around to why shit doesn't grow out here in the States, because there's no avenue to make money.
Yeah. Even
at the highest level, which is ONE FC, right? That's where your paycheck's going to come from. You fight 2-3 times a year for 50 grand a pop. Half of that goes to taxes in your team. That's nothing, dude. You're fucking minimum wage.
Yeah.
The best, and sucks, dude. The best a Thai fighter or a kickboxer in the States can hope for is to build their name up so that they can do seminars and open a gym.
Yeah.
That's a grind. Nobody wants to do that.
Well, I mean, but that's what they'd be doing back home anyways, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's your best case scenario.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just there's just not a lot of avenues for like it's just the public isn't aware of combat sports.
Mhm.
I mean, they've gotten a lot better, right? But it's like I feel like now they're just aware of the UFC,
Yeah.
right? Like you can talk to a regular person about the UFC. They're not even gonna know names. They're just probably gonna know like, yeah, there's an event last week, and they can probably name off a few fighters. You know what I mean? But it's just still not as popular, and it's weird because I looked up the growth of MMA in the United States. It's gotten bigger than the MLB, Major League Baseball.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think we've gone bigger than Major League Baseball, but it's weird because it doesn't feel that way, you know. And I think part of that also is because MLB's free.
Yeah, and you
For
just
the
watch
most
it
part.
on TV. It could just be on.
Yeah, so that's the other. Well, maybe now that's with Paramount. It's like maybe I noticed Paramount's been putting out a lot of free fights on their website because I'll go like randomly on.
Oh, that's the
website.
new deal though. Yeah, because it's not pay per view for the UFC stuff. You could just put on Paramount Plus and watch it.
Yeah,
So that which is a trip.
but they have some that aren't on a paywall though. I've seen
The last
like you
couple.
don't have to, like you don't even have to sign in. There's just you just watch them, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and maybe it's I don't know. I gotta check because maybe it's just because my information's already on there, you know. But I remember there's times where I logged in or I opened up their webpage and I didn't log in and it had fights that I could just click on.
Yeah, I'm gonna sound like a dumbass because I have Paramount Plus, and all of a sudden, like UFC was on, and I was like, oh, like
You didn't even
and
know
just
about
yeah,
it,
I didn't even know, and just watched a couple of fights.
dude. I covered it for so long, man.
I don't watch your videos.
You watch my show, bro.
I just text you.
Yeah, I was excited for the Paramount deal because I like the ESPN deal. I just didn't feel like it was favorable to the brand. You know, I felt like Paramount was offering a little bit more. You know.
I take that back. Actually, the only reason I knew UFC was on was because I heard it on your podcast.
I was excited for it, bro. Because I was like, it didn't make sense to me. They were doing ESPN and then they were still doing a lot of pay-per-views. So I was like, what was the point of it, right? Unless you're just gonna take over their website fights.
It seems like it sucks for the fighters though, because every deal, it just seems like the quality of UFC has gone down. Every deal, like they did the first one was the Reebok deal, right?
Yeah.
And then fighters couldn't
Yeah.
do their sponsors and all that. And then it was like what Venom or something or
Yeah, Venom
the ESPN deal, and I don't know. It seems like UFC is getting their money and the guys aren't getting paid, which has always been the case. But like,
Yeah.
it just seems like it's gotten worse over the years.
Well, I don't know. I looked into I looked into the financials actually with Paramount, and it seems like they're actually making a little bit more money, and they're giving out a lot more bonuses now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot more bonuses now. One thing, and I don't think this is a Paramount thing. It could be because Paramount's giving them a lot of money, but when the Paramount deal happened, Dana White said that he wanted to see more action from the fighters, and he's going to start rewarding like more work now. He's like, I don't like when people just stall out. I think it's in regards to the wrestling that's been taking over. So he's been giving out a lot more bonuses for like finishes now.
you see that with the champs though too. Like Valentina, Valentina can't pronounce her last name. Shevchenko. Like has boring ass fights.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
they get to that level where
She's
they don't want to
champion,
lose.
but-
Yeah,
yeah.
she's champ, but it's like I don't want to watch 25 minutes of nothing.
Yeah, I think
Of
that's
like one jab and then a ground takedown
Yeah.
defense.
exactly, bro. I think that's why, and I think the fans are feeling that way too. So I think that's why you're seeing a big push for the UFC to get more striking down. Because I think the last few years they were big on the grappling was like
The
rule
huge
set
thing.
favor. Yeah,
Yeah.
the rule set favored the grappling, you know. And so now he's I think you know you can knee a down opponent now, right? The 12-6 elbows.
But that depends on where they're at. I think that depends on which
Yeah.
state they're in.
Yeah, I know that's gay. You can't control that though, right?
Yeah.
But it's like these things are trying to make it to make it so it makes the grappling more exciting, right? Because if you can 12-6 elbow and you're clenching, that's a big
Big
difference
difference in
now.
the chain in the game.
Yeah, because a lot of times you see guys just push their head into like another guy's chest, and the only part that is exposed is the sides and the back, and so you can't do anything.
Mhm.
So the 12-6, it allows you to kind of like defend against the takedown a little bit
Throw some
better.
more shots. Yeah, they got to adopt. Well, they again because it's sanctioning bodies, so they can't adopt the one FC MMA rules. But
That'd be a shit though.
that's the best way to do it, and it makes guys just get better. It forces you to evolve on your ground game. Like if you're gonna get kicked in the head because you're scooting on your butt, you're
Yeah.
not gonna scoot on your butt as much, and you're gonna be a lot more efficient on your takedowns and your throws.
Yeah, well, look at the grappling in one, bro. That's exciting, bro. I think it's so different, bro. Like, you know what I mean? The style of grappling is just so different coming out of ONE FC. I'm not gonna say it's better or worse, but I think for me it's more entertaining to watch, you know?
Yeah, it's more entertaining, and that's what sucks that they're not popular out here, and they don't make the effort to promote out here that much. So it's kind of like shooting themselves in the foot. But I think the rule set's always been better, and the fights have always been more exciting and better, especially on the striking. My favorite thing, and this was old though, was when they traded Askren for DJ and for Sage Northcutt.
Yeah, and
You know,
Sage gets
And Sage got his head pounded into
Still
oblivion.
hasn't fought, dude.
Yeah, he's done.
Well, I think I recently saw he wants to pick up a fight, but I just think he wasn't able to fight because of the recovery. He
I think he's got metal plates in his head now.
everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
I saw it broken like 3 different places or something.
That was the best.
Cosmo That kid, they fed him to the wolves, bro.
Yeah,
Dude, was that an MMA fight or a kickboxing fight?
I have no idea, but it was awesome.
Yeah, that was like so quick, bro. And then you know what's crazy is Cosmo does that, and then he gets taken apart by Nikki Holskin like immediately right after, bro.
Nikki's a beast.
Yeah, he's good, bro. People forget.
There's some good. I was gonna say Western fighters, but there's some good like white boys in there because Nikki's in there. Obviously, Haggerty just won. Carilla's really good, dude. Those foreign guys.
Good Russians too.
Yeah. The rest of the world just takes it a lot more serious than we do.
Yeah, the striking for sure, bro. Yeah. Well, because they can make money doing it in their home country. Right?
No, exactly. It's hard to do it out here.
Yeah. And it's also the rule of entry is less, right? It's like you can put on quality shows and make money doing it. That's the thing, bro. That's what it always comes down to the money, bro. And I think the reason we're not seeing good quality striking in the United States anymore is just because it's too expensive to put on, right? And the only places you can really get a good base of fans to watch it is going to be in your coastal cities, right? California, East Coast like New York. I know Philadelphia has a big striking scene, but I mean, the cheapest places to throw them is you're not going to get a good amount of viewers, right? You want to throw a show in Idaho, you can save a lot of money. Who the hell's going to go watch fights in Idaho, bro? You know,
the closest thing for them is going to Arizona for their tournament fights and stuff. But yeah, dude, that's exactly what it comes down to is just cash. And for a business too, for a gym, it's hard to make that. Rent's expensive. That's why these guys do all the stupid bullshit that they do to keep retention.
Yeah.
If gyms were free and you could just train fighters and all that into your pocket, dude, you'd have teams everywhere full of fucking killers.
Too many though. If we have killers, we'd probably have too many teams. Honestly, if I were to ever become president, bro, one of the things I would push for is I would want
mandatory Muay Thai in schools.
I would love that, dude. I would freaking love that, dude. But I couldn't do that. But I would have some type of like grant or something for like promotions to like apply for, right? I wouldn't give it to everyone. I'd be like, it's only for the best of the best, right? But if you can put on a good show and make good money, it's like then you only have to pay X amount to host it,
Yeah, we got the White House UFC card coming up. Fucking maybe in 10 years we get the White House Muay Thai card.
Yeah, bro. Dude, that's a pretty interesting card, huh? Or just event in general.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird. I think the one I'm more interested in is the one coming up with Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano.
The MVP one? Yeah, a lot of people are saying that's going to be I don't think it's going to be bigger than the White House card, but it's going to be definitely a big one. It's on Netflix, so it's going to do crazy numbers.
Yeah.
Bro.
Well, just the people they have on that card are a lot more better named than anybody on the UFC card.
They're more known to the older fan base, but I think the younger fan base knows like Ilya.
The younger fan base. I'm an old man. I want to see Gina Carano punch Ronda Rousey in the face.
Yeah,
I bet you those fights are going to suck though.
Yeah, they're old now and they haven't fought in a long time. But it's I mean, whatever, dude. I'm down to support it. Gina's cool.
It's the freak show fights.
Yeah. Well, they have Nate Diaz is fighting. Who's he fighting?
Brain damage.
Who?
He's fighting brain damage.
What's that guy's name? Mike Perry.
Mike Perry.
But Mike Perry just got a crazy cut in sparring recently.
Yeah, it should heal up.
No, it looked like he needs stitches, bro.
Yeah, it'll heal up. It'll be fine.
Dude, the fight's coming up though, bro.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Super glue that shit together.
It's so funny because he got cut up in sparring. I don't know what he got hit by. I don't know if they said, right? And then it like a week later it shows him sparring again. He's got headgear on this. Like full of like you wouldn't wear this shit earlier,
that's always kind of been the downside about MMA training and American training is that they go fucking hard in sparring. Like sparring is conditioning for a lot of gyms.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. But it can be, but it's also like, bro, you got a fight coming up. Let's at least wear headgear, bro.
Take it easy.
Yeah, so he's got a big cut. That's going to be interesting. Nate cuts easy, though, so I guess it's even now. Nate Diaz, dude, he gets cut easy now.
Yeah, he's got all they both have all that scar tissue in their head.
Yeah, so maybe it's going to be an even fight. Then you got
Ngannou versus
Lin, right? Ngannou, I don't think people care about him anymore. I'm going to be honest, dude. He really kind of f***ed his career, dude.
Yeah.
I get why he did it. I understand why he did it, and maybe I would have done the same if I was him. He stalled out his career. He wanted more money. But it really fucked up his name, bro. People move on, dude. And, John Jones came back and all that shit. A lot has changed,
But he's a big boy and he's in shape. He looks better than most of the UFC heavyweights as far as like physicality and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know if people are caring about that fight too much,
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll probably try to watch it if it's on Netflix.
Who else is on that card? Oh, we got Babian. He's a local guy. Joshua Babian. That guy? He used to be the champion at UNC of Next Fighting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wanted to...
Dude, those UNF guys are killing it.
Oh, dude, UNF is like becoming the next big thing, bro. I feel like they have the I feel like they have the possibility to get bigger than Bellator was, dude, right now, because they're doing a lot of good things, right? They're doing a lot of the interviews. They have
They do everything.
a lot of good promotion.
They're doing it just how they're doing it how. Or let me rephrase. They're doing it better than how George was doing it for Fighters Rep. They're doing everything he did, but with a higher production quality.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Hopefully George doesn't DM me on Instagram or whatever and get pissed off that I said that.
I think he blocks me.
Did he?
Dude, yeah, I think he blocked me, bro. And I'm like, I've never said anything negative about this dude. I don't know if he's doing it for his mental health. Maybe he doesn't want to see my show because people come on and they talk smack. And dude, every time he DMs me when someone says something bad, I always apologize to him. Like, hey, bro, like I didn't say this, but I don't feel like I should censor what other people want to say.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel this way. I don't feel the way this guy feels. I'm sorry that I didn't put it out there, but I'm not going to remove it to for someone else's feelings. It's like, I have a guest on, right? This episode is about the guest, not about me. So whatever they feel like sharing, I'm going to share it.
It sucks though, because like like the last time I was on too, it was like 99% compliments, and then he took the one negative thing that I said.
I know he does that.
So it's like, dude, I'll say it again. If he watches this or whatever, dude, he had one of the best fucking kickboxing shows. He put in a lot of work for the guys.
And I don't even think he's a bad guy. I think he's a businessman, and things happen. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it didn't align well with fighters. It's just going to happen, bro. I have a job, and sometimes, I have to do shit against my coworkers. That's just what it is,
bro. It's promoting, dude. Right? Especially this. You're just going to have people on that suck his dick.
I started doing all this because of his promotion. I saw what he was doing, and then it went away. And I was like, I like that, dude. I like seeing what's going on in fighters' lives, It
was a really good show.
Yeah, it was cool, bro. Good production value. I think, and he's obviously an intelligent guy, bro. He knows how to run a show, bro, But I don't know, man. Some people aren't going to like you. It's not my fault, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I got into it with your coach or something. Right?
Yeah, and I was never, and I never was, I even told him, I was like, hey, bro, this has nothing to do with me, dude. If you want to come on my show and speak your truth, bro, come on my show,
Yeah. It's funny how people get like whatever. Cause like I had my personal drama with my old Muay Thai coach when I left or when I got kicked out. And my homie that I had trained from scratch still wanted to train there because it was close to his house. And he told him like 1,000 times, dude, like, I just want to train. Like, I don't want any of the drama.
Yeah.
And the coach couldn't let it go. He's like, well, Alex did this and Alex did that. He's like, dude, I'm just trying to train. Like, some people can't let it go, You
got to though, bro. You got to learn to separate things, bro. Like, I mean, it's okay to feel a certain way, but it's like, why are you directing that towards me, dog? You know what I mean?
It's hard, dude. It's really hard because like I have my problems with different coaches, but they might have students that I'm like cool with, and I want to like that guy, but I just don't bring it up to the fighter or whatever. Try not to.
I just feel like I'm, for the most part, pretty respectable, dude. If I say something out of pocket, it's not because I meant it, So it's like,
I don't think you ever say anything negatively.
I don't try to do that thing. I try to be nice to like everyone I come in contact with. I try to have good, I like to be in good standing with people. Right. I was taught a long time ago, bro. It's like in life, you're gonna get further if you are cool people because it's gonna open the door to favors later on. And the reason I'm able to do all this is because of favors from other people, bro. You know what I mean? I was doing interviews at WCK because of favors from Hung, Dennis and stuff. So it's like I always try to say something positive about someone. If I say something negative, I'll try to also highlight some of the good things they've done, So I don't know, man. Like, if you don't like me, it's not because of something I did,
Right. Yeah, even if like I'm gonna talk on the WBC for their amateur circuit, like you're cool with them. Like, I'm not trying to make you say like they suck. I think some of their business is really shady, dude. Like the money for stuff or the coaches certs or any of that stuff. And where I come from, like the pay to play, the belts, the certifications I think they're bullshit, but like that doesn't mean that a fighter shouldn't fight on their show or go take the opportunity if it comes up to them. It's a good experience for some of those guys. And a lot of people DM me and they're like, I had a really good time fighting over there. It was cool, but it is expensive and this, that, or the other thing.
Yeah. And that chairman from WBC, like the last episode we did, said some things. I feel the same way about the cost and like where it's going, and obviously I like what WBC is doing in a lot of ways because I like that they're trying to unify the sport because that's something you really need to do, right? That's why you see that the NFL is what the NFL is because there's only one, right? No one gives a fuck about the other leagues that play football, right? So you need to have like one entity looking over everything, But like a lot of the things you said, I can agree with the money and just seems kind of sketchy with mostly just the money. I'll be honest with you, bro. Yeah. It's mostly just the money. But I spoke to the chairman, bro, and I was like, hey, bro, like I like what you're doing. This is just the things I don't like about you. And we had a great conversation. It's like I try not to diss people when they're trying to do something because it's hard, bro. It's
and
hard.
you don't want to cut out an avenue where you can get information or get like opportunities for yourself either.
I would love to go to the next WBC event and like just document what's going on, bro. And so to do that, I have to be in good standing, you know. And I think there'd be no point in me having a podcast if I didn't at least highlight some of the things I didn't like about things, right?
You could be my secret source. If you go and have fun and play the good guy, just DM me all the bullshit that's going on, and then I'll post that. And my sources say.
All right, Alex. We're getting close to. We should probably cut this soon, right? So,
yeah, you're gonna go punch me in the face here in a bit.
Right. We're gonna go train together. Yay!
Get my ass kicked for the rest of the day.
Dude, I haven't been to the gym all week, dude.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Well, my sister's moved. She just finished moving yesterday, so I was like literally just going to her house and helping her pack. I haven't even been to the gym all week. It's gonna be the first time I've seen Coach since the WCK event.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fuck, all right.
I know it's awkward. It sucks. I mean, I wouldn't say it sucks, but it's kind of a little awkward because like when my friends fight on a card, and I told this to Evan, bro. I had to interview him. I do the post fight interviews, right? So whoever wins, I interview him. I don't try to interview losers because go watch my first fucking. You'll see why I don't interview losers, bro. You know. But so I interviewed Evan, and it was so conflicting because I'm like, hey, bro, I like Evan as a guy. He's a cool guy, right? Evan, I can't remember his last name from Emperor's Muay Thai, right? But I was like, bro, I just want to apologize up front because for the last like 30 minutes, I was like screaming at my homie to beat the crap out of you. You know? And
it's hard, dude. You can't. That's a hard balance to have,
right? And it's like, and I want to give you a good interview, but I'm low key a little salty that you beat my homie. But I just had to open up with that, and it's hard, bro. So, and then I got to go to the gym, and I'm like, yeah, I had to interview the dude that beat me.
Who cares?
Yeah,
you didn't beat up your homie, so that's fine.
It's all love, bro. And you know what? I love Drew because he is cool. He shook Evan's hand, bro. They're cool. From what I understand, they're gonna train together, and I like to see that, bro. I want to have a team that is welcoming to everyone, whether you beat them or not, whether you're from an opposing team or not. You know, it's like for me when I want to see when I say I want the sport to grow, it's like I want us to grow together, not like as an individual team or individual fighter. I look at it as Muay Thai as a whole, you know. And so I'm very happy that Drew takes that same approach to the game, you know?
Yeah, that's the only way you get better, dude, you know? Once upon a time, Majali and Tyreek were supposed to fight each other, and then, like, that didn't happen, and then they fucking became homies and stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man, it's common, bro. We all have common interests, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Alex, anything you want to shoot out there?
No, man, just, Cali Fight Pullout, follow the page. I'm still posting pullouts when I get them sent. Otherwise, the other 99% of the time, I'm just talking. So
Cali Fight Pullout, check that out. Anything? You still have a fight team, right, or no?
No, dude, I don't. I haven't coached for probably going on 6 months now. I mean, if anybody wants to train or whatever, hit me up. But yeah, I don't have a team or anything right now.
Okay.
I'm just doing my own thing.
I thought I seen you training with some.
Yeah, I do. I train with some of my old students and stuff, but it's not like my team or anything like that.
Gotcha.
I'm just doing it for fun right now.
All right, just hanging out. And stuff.
Yeah, just hanging out. Helping corner here and there. Like if like Manjali's doing a kickboxing fight, I'll help Coach John corner. Or if my boy from the den has guys fighting, I'll help him corner. But other than that, yeah, like it takes so much time. I would love to have a team and coach, but it's a big time commitment, and I also expect that commitment from the guys that I coach. So, But if anybody wants to hit me up, hold pads or train or whatever.
Yeah, hit him up, dude. We'll include the link to his page somewhere here. I always do this, and I never put it in the right place.
It's going to be like above or something.
Well, because I always do it like in my face. And usually I'll put it like right here at my chest. So I gotta start doing it like right here now. But anyways, it'll be. I'll put a screenshot of his page, oopsie, right here, and I'll have his actual link to his page in the bio. Quick shout out again to the sponsors. Let me get this out because I don't have this.
Fucking do it, dude.
I gotta give them a shout out, bro. They gave me some goodies, bro, and I gotta show love to the people that show me love.
So next episode, I want you to take some of your mushroom candies, and then we'll do an episode.
I did a mushroom episode a long time ago. It was before it became serious. It was when I had my co-host.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. I think we did acid. I'm sorry. Yeah, we did acid.
Shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we were at his crib. We ate some acid. We were tripping. But anyways, but yeah, quick shout out to sponsors. Big Mo Smoke Shop in Riverside, wearing their shirt. Check them out. Sacred Journey Mushrooms. I'll include a picture somewhere. And Shugs Premium THC Hash Hole, baby. That's cannabis related products. Check them out. And I think that's it.
Sick, dude. Thanks for having me again, man.
Alex, it's a pleasure. Hopefully we can recover that first episode that I did on your show. If not, we could always run it back.
I know I got a lot more talking to do. I need to get that thing going.
Yeah, you got a lot. There's a guy that I want you to meet, bro, who I can't remember, but I was like, dude, he was talking a lot of smack, and I was like, you got to meet Alex, bro. I asked him if he knew you, and he didn't know you, and I was like, bro, you guys would be best friends, dog. Dude, I got to write. I'll connect you guys. Thanks for watching. We out, baby.